Water time. First one up, Alexander, 2-cost summon from 9. Select two of the following action. Up to two of the following actions, and if you do, pick 2, pay a crystal. During this turn, if a forward you control is dealt damage, reduce the damage by 2k. And then the second ability, activate all the forwards you control. That's really good. Being able to activate all the forwards is really good. And then if a forward is dealt damage, reduce the damage by 2k instead. And that's multiple streams of damage, so that's really good. Man, that's a really good summon. I see why all of these are heroes though. Like that's really good. Vaughn, 4-cost, 8k forward, MBM from the Moogle game. Sky Pirate. When Vaughn attacks, you may remove 3 MBM characters in your break zone from the game. When you do so, activate Vaughn, and Vaughn gains he can attack twice in the same turn to the end of the turn. Discard 1 category MBM character, draw 2 cards. You can only use this ability during your turn and once per turn. So the discard 1 to draw 2 is pretty good. When I first read this, I thought it was going to be discard a card, draw 2 cards, and then discard another card. I'm glad that's not the case. This Vaughn's pretty good, and he's a reasonable cost. And with the other Moogle game cards, this should be no problem playing. And with all the utility that they have, like, this deck's probably gonna be disgusting. I don't know if they're gonna add any more cards to MBM, but hopefully they do, because I'm liking how it's going so far. Garnet, this is the prettiest full art I think we have ever gotten. Garnet, 4-cost, EX burst, 8k power, princess / summoner from 9, wedding dress. When Garnet enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 category 9 among them, card among them to your hand, and return the other cards to the bottom of the deck in any order. The cost required for your opponent to cast summons is increased by 1, and then at damage 3, your summons are reduced by 1. This is a really, 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 really good card, and it helps 9 out a lot. With the VV, with this, this is 9 is getting insane. I know there's a Zidane coming out with the the crayon art, as someone calls it. Not this set, but the next set, Opus 29 in July. Hopefully that one does something, and hopefully it has a special ability, because the lack of special abilities on these cards really hurts them a little bit. Not a lot, but it limits the potential that the card could have. And I already know this full art is going to be expensive, because it's an EX burst, it does a lot, and it's actually gorgeous. Musician is a 2-cost backup standard unit. It is you just put it in the break zone by dulling it. Choose 1 for your opponent controls, return it to their hand. I only do this if you have 5 forwards. Pretty straightforward. I mean, the art is nice, and then it gets rid of something at your earliest convenience. So this is pretty good if you need it, just like the other ones that do the same thing typically. Sage, 2-cost backup, standard unit 14. When it enters the field, gain a crystal. Pay 1 water CP, dull it, put it in the break, gain a crystal. Same as the other ones, no need to rehash. Steina, cost 6, 9k forward. It is a knight from 9. The 9 forwards other than Steiner gain. This forward cannot be chosen by your opponent's abilities. When Steiner enters the field, choose 1 category 9 character of cost 4 or less in your break zone, play it onto the field. And his special ability is Alert. Pitching a copy of himself until the end of the turn, Steiner gains cannot be chosen by your opponent's abilities. This card is good. You play this, you play the Zidane that searches for 2 non-characters, and then you can play the Garnet shortly after that. Play the VV, and they can't be chosen by abilities, so you already kept half of the battle down. Yeah, this card is a huge facilitator. It costs a lot to get him out, but once he gets out there, he is all of intents and purposes a knight. He is a protector, and this is a really good card. That art is really cool too. That fire is circling around the sword with the night and day. That's really nice. Princess Sarah, 4-cost backup princess from 1. When Princess Sarah enters the field, look at the top card of your deck. You may put it at the bottom of your deck. Then draw 1 card, gain a crystal. Solid. You can keep an EX burst on top. You can put something that you need to search at the bottom. You draw a card and then you gain a crystal. Just solid, all around solid. Definitely going in my Viking deck. Astrologian, 1 cost, 3k forward, standard unit from 14. When it enters the field, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, return them to the top of your deck in any order, gain a crystal, and then by paying 1 CP of any element, 1 crystal, dulling it, draw a card. This is good. Good thing this isn't a backup because this would net you so much. I don't see this card staying on the field very long at all, but the fact that you get to draw a card for essentially 2 is really good. So I definitely expect for this to be played in a lot of decks that need draw power, and I'm interested to see how this pans out once the set is released and people actually get their hands on it. Sorbet, cost 2 backup Moogle from the Moogle game. While paying the cost to cast a MBM card, if Sorbet is on the field, Sorbet can produce the CP of any element. So he is a color fixer. So it leads me to believe there will be Earth, Wind, Fire, MBM cards in the future. So, Soiree 3.0, 6.0. Tryon, cost 5, 9k forward, Prince/Knight from 11. If you control a princess, he is a cost 3, and when he attacks, draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. I think effects like that are stupid, but whatever. I don't see him being played, if I'm being honest. He might be a one-off in a knight deck just because he's 9k, but there's cards that do more than him for less than what he does, so I don't see him being played. But if you can figure it out, let me know. Hurdy, 3-cost backup EX burst Moogle from the Moogle game. When Hurdy enters the field, you may search for 1 category MBM forward and add it to your hand. Pretty self-explanatory. EX burst, searches, low cost, definitely a must-play in the Moogle game deck. Pill Raster, cost 2 dinosaur from the Moogle game. Monster. If a job dinosaur you control deals damage to a forward, the damage increases by 5k. For free, action ability, he can become a forward of 6k. It only uses this ability once per turn. Hopefully they don't make any more dinosaurs, but if they do, this card makes dinosaurs dangerous. So I guess watch out for all dinosaurs and Barts. Alright, Honeybee Lovely. 2 cost, 7k forward, Arcadian Fighter from 14. When she enters the field, each player draws 1 card. At damage 3, when she enters the field, your opponent randomly places 1 card from their hand at the bottom of their deck. I don't like the fact your opponent draws a card, and even if they put 1 back, I mean, they still have an opportunity to draw something that they need and keep that and put something back unless they have no cards. That would be the only way I see this is even feasible of playing, unless you just don't care. I mean, that could be an option too. This is the worst of the Arcadian fighters in my opinion, but maybe I'm looking at it incorrectly. Pinello, Alright, Pinello is a 3-cost 5k forward dancer slash sky pirate from the Moogle game. When Pomelo enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 category MBM character among them to your hand, and return the others to the bottom of the deck in any order. Duel 3 active MBM characters. Your opponent selects 1 forward they control, put it into the break zone. Pinello always does something crazy like that. So this doesn't surprise me. And it also helps keep things fair for your side because most of your stuff is weak. But with stuff like this, I mean, you can do this 3-4 times and then still play, what was his name? It wasn't Mont Blanc. No for free. And then do some other shenanigans. So, yeah, this Moogle game deck's gonna be insane. Horn, speaking of, 2 calls back up, Moogle from the Moogle game. When Horn enters the field, if you control 3 or more MBM characters, draw 1 card, and then you can put Horn into the break, and then choose an MBM forward. It gains 1,000. Don't really see that being used unless it's like last resort, but you could do that just to play another one, just to draw another card. But I mean, you know. Alright, Yuna is a 4-cost 8k forward going slash Songstress from 10. That signed art is really nice. When a forward of an element other than water enters your field, choose 1 forward your opponent controls. It loses 4k to the end of the turn. Duel 1 active Yuna and 1 active 10 character. Search for 1 job forward that's a gold wing and play it onto the field. You can only use this ability during your turn and once per turn. And the fact that it doesn't care about the cost of the gold wing is really, really good. And she is water. Man, I wish they would have made this a full art just outright. It only gets a full art and a signed full art and a standard art. I don't know, man. This is one of those full arts. If I got it, I'd have to keep this one for sure. That's a Tetsuya Nomura art too, and that dude is just, the card is good itself, but the art makes it way better. Yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Lion. She is a 4-cost 3k forward girl from 11. If you control 5 or more water forwards, the forwards you control gain 1,000 power. When she enters the field, you may play 1 water forward of cost 6 or less from your hand onto the field. This is really good because there are a couple 6 or less water forwards you can play that benefit you from playing. Yeah, this is definitely something that Vikings will be playing. And even Warrior Light can play this now that they're losing 2 refuges. Yeah, this is definitely an underrated and slept on card for sure. The power boost is not that important, but the fact that you can play a 6 or less water forward from your hand, that's pretty prevalent. Leonora, she's a 3-cost 5k forward. She's a Epot from 8. When she enters the field, draw a card, then discard a card. If the discarded card was a summon, your opponent selects 1 forward they control, put it into the break zone. This is fine especially if you're playing something like Une and you can just get the summon back. You get rid of forward and your opponent has to choose, and then you have a blocker, and I mean there's better ways to do that, but she is definitely an option and she costs less than 4, so this is decent if you want to go that route, if you have plenty of summons to spare. Rosa, this art is nice and she looks like an archer in this shot. She's a 6-cost forward of 6k power white mage from 4. When she enters the field, you may search for any category 4 forward other than herself and add it to your hand. Then play up to 2 category 4 forwards with a total of 4 or less from your hand onto the field. This is really good. So that's 2 2s, 1 3, and 1 1, or 1 1s. Either way, it is really good, but they got to be forwards. So she definitely replaces herself, and that plays the Cecil of fire or ice. So yeah, that's a full art I definitely want as well. Really good card, really nice art. They really giving for that Final Fantasy VIII boost. And that's it for water. And time to go on to wind.